Welcome to the Get Fit Guys, quick and dirty tips to get moving and shape up. My name is Brock Armstrong, and I'm the Get Fit Guy. Since I was in grade school, Jump Rope for Heart has promoted fitness in schools while also raising money for heart health research and education. But the benefits of jumping rope go far beyond the school ground. Aside from being a great exercise on its own, the skills developed by jumping rope benefit almost any athletic endeavor. A few weeks ago, Elizabeth sent me a message on Facebook saying, "Hello, could you make a recommendation for a jump rope workout? I have one arriving today and I don't know where to start. I'm trying to incorporate high-intensity cardio into my workout. Thanks." Well, I did in fact send Elizabeth a link to a jump rope workout that I really like, but I did it with some hesitation. Jumping rope is pretty darn safe overall, but like with any new workout modality, there are some risks involved, especially if you're just starting out or if you're returning to it after a long hiatus. Some common injuries that can occur with jump rope are a twisted ankle, a sprained ankle, shin splints, calf strains, Achilles tendon strain, plantar fasciopathy, plantar tendonitis, and even stress fractures if you get really carried away. Now, I didn't list those to scare you off or put you off jump rope. I just wanted you to be aware that just because kids do this activity in the playground every day doesn't mean it isn't a killer workout that can certainly leave its mark. But to keep you safe and uninjured, here are some general guidelines for those of you who are new to jumping rope, or for those of you who haven't done it since you were in braces and pigtails maybe. Now first, surface and location matter. Hard surfaces like concrete and asphalt put more stress on your bones and joints than softer surfaces do. So if you can stick to softer surfaces like wood, dirt, or rubber, these will protect your body and also give you the added benefit of making your rope last longer. Now, if you have no choice but to jump on hard surfaces, keep your volume and impact low and consider investing in a jump rope mat or use an old yoga mat to jump on. You will also want to find at least a 6 by 4 foot area with at least 10 inches of space above your head. For this reason, I prefer to do my jump rope outside or in a large gym setting. Now, the second point is that shoes matter. Especially when you're just starting out, choose shoes that have good stability, good arch support, and perhaps even some ankle support. And again, if you're jumping on hard surfaces, find some shoes with extra cushioning in the midsole where the majority of your jumping takes place. Now, once you've been jumping for a while, or if you've already spent a lot of time making your feet nice and strong, and for that you can check out the article on ways to make stronger feet, and I'll put a link to that over in the show notes at getfitguy.quickanddirtytips.com and look for the episode 374. But if you've already done all that work, footwear will not be as important, but it's always best to err on the side of caution until you know how your feet and your legs will actually react to this new workout. Now, the next point is choose a good rope. Beginners may find a beaded rope handy because, well, it holds its shape better as it flies through the air, and it can be easier to control than those lightweight cloth or vinyl rope ones. You can, and should, eventually move up to what's called a weighted rope, which slows down the swinging motion and gives you more time to power through your jump. But start easy and progress at your own rate. Now, the next thing is to make sure you warm up first. For a detailed, full-body warm-up, you can check out the article called "What is the Best Way to Warm Up?" But just like a rubber band is, a muscle is also more pliable when it's at a warmer temperature. So if you want to train your body to move through a greater range of motion, start with 5 to 10 minutes of light cardio and then move into a dynamic stretching warm-up routine. Now, dynamic stretching, or ballistic stretching as it's also called, is much more effective than static stretching in terms of adequately preparing your body for an exercise session. Studies have actually shown that dynamic stretching can also improve your power, your strength, and your performance during a subsequent exercise session. So take some time and warm up thoroughly and correctly. Now, the next point is to increase your volume slowly. Yes, I know I bring this up a lot, but especially for beginners, we often see that age-old issue of too much too soon. Excitement often gets the best of us, and we forget to pay attention to the volume or the distance or the duration of our exercise. And this can be a problem because, well, it takes time for our bodies to adjust to new stresses, which includes the added load that all that jumping puts on your joints and muscles. So pay attention to how long, how hard, and how often you're jumping, and listen to your body. Just like a good running program or a weight training regimen, you should start slowly and only increase your volume based on how your body adjusts, not on some pre-written plan that you've found on the internet or a momentarily excited whim. Now, the next point is to listen to your body. In any effective workout program, you will experience some pain, especially when you're making progress. Now, that particular type of pain is actually a sign that your muscles are being challenged, which is necessary for growth. Now, us exercise nerds use the term DOMS, which is short for delayed onset muscle soreness, which means soreness that peaks around 24 to 48 hours post-workout. Now, DOMS that manifest in light muscle tenderness and stiff joints is completely normal, but DOMS that result in muscles that are very painful to touch or sharp pains in your joints is not normal. So, if it hurts to sneeze or laugh or wash your own hair a couple of days after a workout, then you need to pay more attention and maybe ease off on the volume or the intensity, or both. Now, it is very important to be aware of your body and how it feels so you will know what your limits are. You do want to push yourself, but only to a beneficial point. Check out the article, How to Tell If You're Working Out Hard Enough, for more info on that. And again, I'll put a link at getfitguy.quickanddirtytips.com, episode 374. Now, the final point is to stretch and roll. Stretching, or better yet, spending some time on your foam roller will help minimize DOMS, improve your speed of recovery from the workouts, and maybe even reduce your chance of injury. And you know what? If nothing else, it is a great way to end a hard workout. Okay, now let's get to the jump rope basics. Start by selecting a rope that is the correct length for you by stepping on the center of the rope with your feet together and then pull the handles up straight. When you do this, the handles should reach about to your shoulder height. Now to start jumping, put your feet about hip width apart, your torso nice and tall, and your elbows bent at about a 45-degree angle. To begin with, until you get into some of the fancier jumping moves, you'll want your elbows close near into your body. Now make sure to use your wrists to swing the rope instead of your arms. You'll find that once the rope actually gets going, it's easy to keep it going with just a flick of the wrist. Now to jump, simply push off from the balls of your feet and lift your feet just high enough to clear the rope, and then land again with slightly bent knees to minimize the impact. Beginners can start with about 30 seconds of consecutive jumping or 50 repetitions, but limit yourself to 3 or 4 sets until you're certain that your body can handle it. Rest for 30 to 60 seconds between each set and use that time to shake out your ankles and legs, and then take some time to mentally prepare yourself for the next set. After a while, you can increase the length of your sets to 60 or 90 seconds of jumping or 100 to 150 repetitions. Alternately, you can shorten your rest periods to 15 or 30 seconds. Either way, you'll be increasing the workout. At first, I would suggest doing only 2 jump rope workouts per week, but you can eventually increase that to 3 or 4 per week. Just make sure that they are on non-consecutive days, so you have adequate time to recover. And after a few weeks, you can work your way up to about 20 minutes of jumping during those 3 or 4 jump workouts per week. Those jump sets can last for 2 to 5 minutes in duration or 200 to 500 repetitions, where you complete 4 or 5 sets per workout, resting 15 to 60 seconds between sets. Once you can handle that, well, that's when the fun begins. Now here is a fun and relatively easy to remember and master workout that you can try once you are confident that your calves, your shins, and your ankles can handle it. Do each of these variations for 1 minute, separated by 1 minute of rest. So you start with the basic jump. You swing the rope over your head and jump as it passes under your feet, and then land evenly on both feet. Do that for 1 minute, then move on to the alternating foot jump, which is when you shift your weight onto your right foot and swing the jump rope over your head. You jump off your right foot as the rope passes under your feet, and then you land on that same foot. Then switch and land on your left foot. And then you keep doing this, alternating back and forth, left to right, for 1 minute. Then you move on to what's called the combo jump. You do the alternating version for 5 jumps on each foot, and then do 10 basic jumps. Then you move on to the high knee jump. Similar to the alternating foot variation, but now you raise each knee up and towards your chest to a 90-degree angle with each jump. And then the big finish. Do any combination of all the moves I just mentioned that allow you to do a continuous jump interval of 5 minutes. If you have to take a break, make it brief and get back at it. Now, once you've hit 5 minutes, you are done. Go and stretch and foam roll, especially your calves and your shins, and hit the showers. Now here is an advanced jump rope workout. And this one is fun, especially for those people who like to jump rope to music. Now once you get comfortable with all these moves, doing this sequence can actually start to feel like dancing instead of a workout. And we all know how enjoying your workouts and using music can actually lower your level of perceived exertion. Now, after a good full body warm-up, do these moves for 20 reps or more each before moving on to the next one. So you do 20 basic jumps, then 20 ski jumps, then 20 heel taps, and then 20 scissor jumps. Now, the order is really not that important, so you can play around with it and have some fun. Now, for some helpful how-to videos of these moves that I just listed, check out Shanna Brady's punk rope videos on YouTube. And I'll put a link again in the show notes at getfitguy.quickanddirtytips.com, episode 374. As helpful as it might be for me to try to explain these, it'll be a lot more helpful for you to see them in real. So I encourage you to check out punk rope videos or find some other series on YouTube. All right, combining your jump rope workout with bodyweight exercises is the ultimate in jump rope workouts. This is when we alternate between jumping rope and doing other types of exercises. All you need for this combination of toning and cardio is a jump rope, an open area, and some energy to burn. So we start the way that I outlined at the beginning of this episode and then move on to 1 to 2 minutes of each of the following. 2-foot jump, followed by some push-ups. Then high knee jump, alternating feet, into Russian twists. Then do alternating foot jump into some sumo squats. Then the basic jump again into some dips. Then the 2-foot jump into some bicycle crunches. And then the high knee jump, again alternating feet, into some walking lunges. And then finish it up with the basic jump. You do these for 1 to 2 minutes each and it'll be a killer workout. Now to cool down, walk slowly until you catch your breath and then stretch out any of the tight areas, roll out all the affected muscle groups, make some notes in your diary, and then hit the showers. If you want to take that up a notch, keep your transitions as quick as possible so you don't let your heart rate drop too much between each one of the exercises. And if you have it in you, you can do this entire thing over and over again for a maximum of 3 times through. All right, before we wrap up, I want to give you some jump rope reminders. Now, whether you're new to jumping or you're some jump rope veteran, here are some basic rules to keep in mind. Keep your elbows tucked in close to your hips or your ribs. Keep your hands around waist height and don't let them sag or creep up. Keep the handles of the jump rope loose and easy in your grip. Don't crush them in your fists. Keep your knees, your hips, and your ankles all soft and let them bend and flex on each landing. Now, unless you're doing some specific variation, keep your jumps nice and low. And finally, use your wrists as much as possible to swing the rope instead of your arms. Jumping rope is a great way to boost your heart rate, create some spring in your legs, and of course, burn some calories. According to Peter Schulman, MD, an associate professor of cardiology and pulmonary medicine, you'd have to run an 8-minute mile to work off more calories than you burn while you're jumping rope. Sure, you're putting some very direct and heavy stress on your knees, your ankles, and your hips, but when done properly, jumping rope is actually a lower impact activity than running, and the force placed on your knees while running is as much as 3 times more than when you're walking. Now, the same as when you start any intense exercise regime, you may want to check with your doctor, especially if you have doubts about your body's ability to handle the repeated impact. Now, like I mentioned earlier, shoes and surface are also important to consider. And of course, don't forget that a good warm-up, cool down, as well as some stretching and foam rolling are also important. If you follow these guidelines and always listen to your body, you will be jumping your way to a fitter and springier you in no time. Now, for more jumping info, rope tips, and to join in the bouncing conversation, head over to facebook.com/getfitguy or twitter.com/getfitguy or getfitguy.quickanddirtytips.com. My name is Brock Armstrong, and I'm the Get Fit Guy, asking you, what are you waiting for? Go get fit.